Yeah, it was definitely a team win. We struggled that third set, I think it was, and we responded really well. We came out more comfortable as a team, more together, and I think that was really what changed the tide there. We were just more confident in each other, and I think that's what propelled us to the win.
What the atmosphere in the SCSC today? Just talk a little about that and how that helped turn the tide there as what set 3 went into set 4 and set 4 went into set 5.
Well, it's definitely something that we haven't gotten to feel in a while, so it's good to just have fans in general, but there's so many people there. They were so loud, and I think once we started that fourth set, we started a little bit on a run, and we could just tell they were into the game, and we really want to try and play for them and make the games fun for them, so I think that definitely helps us, and I think it definitely encourages us to play better.
What were some of the little adjustments that needed to be made on the floor to get some of the momentum back, especially in that fourth set?
Yeah, I think we started making a lot more defensive plays. We needed to slow down their outsides with the right side block, and I think we definitely got a lot more touches. We got a lot more touches on digs. We were just a lot more comfortable, and I think we definitely slowed down their outsides, and they had to do something different. So I think we made them think, and I think that was good for us.
And lastly, talk a little about obviously not having Max and Harms last weekend, and just the huge. I mean, just how much more dynamic the role is on the offense and defense, and just 19 total blocks today ties a school record in the Division I era.
Yeah, she's a fun person to play with, and she makes it very easy to set her, and she's always in. She's very confident. She really exudes confident energy within her teammates, and I think that was definitely something that we were missing last weekend was just that confident piece, and I think she's really stepped up, and she played really well this weekend and continuing to play well, so.
And one more, how does 3-0 on this weekend sound?
A lot better than 0-3. Thank you.
Just go ahead and give us some opening statement.
Oh, I mean, there's so much that I could talk about. I think that this match really tested us and tested our ability to, one, make changes, but two, to stay together when things weren't going well. And I think it would have been really easy after losing sets 2 and 3 and 3, not being a good game for us at all, to kind of back off and maybe let that go. And I really, really love seeing how determined our team got. And we really flipped our mentality going into set 4, and I just felt like they were very much in the mindset of we have to make plays. We have to go make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen, and it really showed. I mean, we had 8 blocks in set 4 by itself, which is huge. Our right sides did make some changes just in terms of timing on their outsides. And once they did that, we were getting better touches. I think Amy and Jerks combined for 3 blocks. I think Amy might have had 3 early on against their outsides at the beginning of the set 4, and it made them start to do some different things. We moved around defensively a little bit. I think there were times that it worked and times that it felt like maybe we were making adjustments and it wasn't really paying off, but it did pay off in the long run. We just had to stay patient with it. Serving wise, we had a couple really big runs. I thought we were aggressive all night. We were able to take advantage of some of their rotations where they were passing with just 2, and that really allowed us to play defense at a little bit of a higher level. So not always our cleanest match throughout, or we had a couple games where we weren't as clean, but I really liked how we responded. That first set we earned, I believe it was 23 out of our 25 points, and then I think they had 2 missed serves in that run. But besides that, we had to earn a lot of points in that first set. Lost kind of that mentality a little bit in sets 2, 3, and 4, but definitely got that back in set 5. And what great volleyball. I mean, set 5, they hit 545, we just hit 625 and had a few more kills. But that's exactly what we want to be able to do in SCSC, is bring in good volleyball. And I think, the almost 1,000 people that were here tonight definitely got their money's worth, and they made it a great environment to play.
So I was going to lead into my next question, is just the atmosphere and the fans and getting close to that 1,000 mark, back to, some sort of normalcy and resemblance to, and I think the team kind of treated them to a spirited effort there at the end of the match.
Absolutely. I mean, we've said it all along, and I'm never going to go away from it. Our fans absolutely make a difference. The people that show up at the SCSC, I mean, influence how we play in a lot of ways. Our student section was incredible. The Coyote Crazies came out full force, and they were loud. It absolutely does. It makes a difference. You know, when they started to go on a run, our crowd got loud. And that's exactly what we want to see. So it's not just people that are showing up to watch a game. It's people that are, our fans are being involved in the game, and they're impacting the game in ways that they probably don't even know. So being at home is always great, and this is a busy weekend for Coyote Athletics and the town of Vermilion. So for us to still have that many people here that we're contributing is something that I'm always amazed by.
And I know Jerks touched on Madison Harm's effort and just her resiliency to come back after having to sit out last weekend. I mean, was there a concerted effort to get the middles more attacks or more swings this weekend?
I don't think it was necessarily this weekend versus just the season as a whole. You know, we know with everybody returning, we've got some very veteran players across the board. I mean, our outsides are obviously veteran, our right side, our middles, everybody's returning. So with that, we feel very confident getting people involved and finding the matchups that are working at that time. And Harms did a great job all weekend of being involved, being a presence, both offensively and defensively. And I think last year, in a lot of situations, she was more of that defensive presence, and she's continued to be that. But now she's kind of found her groove a little bit more offensively and given us a spark and allowed our outsides to have more one-on-one situations, because now you have to pay attention to our middles too. So I thought Juergens did a good job of getting people involved and finding the right people at the right times, and something that again we're gonna continue to push as we go forward throughout the season. We didn't quite have everybody at 2 kills per set this match like we did the last two, but I think Milwaukee did a good job of slowing down people in different situations, so we were able to take advantage of the people that were having success. But the games that we were on, we were really on. You know, hit over 500 in set 1 and over 600 in set 5, and that's just a glimpse of what this team can do.
And how much is it just trying to avoid what happened previous set and just play in the moment, play in the next point?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about mindfulness this year, and just what it means to be in the present and not worry about the past and not think about the future. And I think even set 5 is a great example of that. We were down 8-6 and came out of that timeout and scored that next point, and I just feel like we never really looked back. We were just very aware of what we needed to do in that moment, and that's huge. I think set 3, we weren't. Set 3, you could see we were kind of in our heads. We were much more timid, but yeah, I mean, it's important that throughout this season that we continue to get better at that. And the good thing is we're talking about it already. I mean, we're having those conversations, we're working on it as we go throughout the season, and we're only 2 weekends in. So I can only imagine what we can get to if we continue to stay focused on that.
And talk about the weekend as a whole and just the step the program made this weekend coming back from an 0-3 trip last weekend.
Yeah, last weekend was hard. The competition obviously was very good, very difficult, but we just weren't. We didn't feel great with how we came out and played. And with that, I've said it before. I said it in my talk before the match if people were there. This program's always done a good job of buying into making changes and getting better when we have faced losses or faced adversity. And that's exactly what this team did this weekend, getting the 2 sweeps last night and then early this afternoon. And then obviously coming back and having to really fight for a 5-set win. So it's a huge change for us. It's a huge step in the right direction. But obviously we still feel like there's things that we can get better at, and that's what's so exciting about that growth. That growth mindset is just getting better one day at a time, and continually being the best version of ourselves on any given night.
And lastly, I know that we don't want to talk to the future too much, but jumping ahead to next weekend, having to play that back-to-back match on Saturday without much rest time.
Yeah, I mean, even this weekend, though, we played 3 matches in probably about 26 hours, I think it was. So, I think we're going to be at least in the best position that we can be. We've already been in this position where we had to play those 5 sets, and it's going to be tough. But I think the nice thing is, we're training for that. We work every day to put ourselves in a position to be as physical as we can be in those moments, but the adrenaline definitely takes over in some of those matches as well, which helps. But there's times that when you don't feel great, you got to be smarter, and that's something that I think this team showed that they can do this weekend at times.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.